Welcome back, everyone, to welcome back for a new Rate the Super. This is a DLC edition for Granblue Fantasy Versus, which has been easily my favorite fighting game in the last 2 years. So with that said, let's get started, and I've already chosen the music and stage to do the first batch of... First, let's look at the basic Super.
One more? I guess playtime is over! Our smackdown! One more? Research begins. I guess playtime is over! Our smackdown!
Not super impressive, it's pretty basic. I'll give that Super a 5 out of 10. But her bigger Super actually has a lot of good, I think, humor to it.
All aboard! Here's your ticket to hell! All aboard! Here's your ticket to hell!
Great!
All aboard! Here's your ticket to hell! All aboard! Here's your ticket to hell!
Dang it all.
All aboard! Here's your ticket to hell! Thanks for playing!
I'm gonna give that one a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, it's not the best, but it's not bad. It's still pretty solid Super. So, with that said, let's go on to the next character for DLC. Next, here we go. Definitely, I think a lot of people's personal favorite female character in the game. Let's look at her first one.
The dream is over. Everything has an end.
Unfortunately, you have to be very
The
close.
dream is over. Everything has an end. My
It's not bad. I do like the angles. The only drawback is you have to be super close.
The dream is over. Everything has an end. My
Still pretty good, and it does show impact. But I'm gonna have to give it about 4.5
Let's see
because
what you've got.
it definitely has its drawbacks.
All is fleeting. This ends now. The ephemeral blade dance of the goddess.
Down.
Okay,
I
that
won't forget
is
this.
really good. The angles, the timing, everything, and it really does show the impact.
All is fleeting. This ends now. The ephemeral blade dance of the goddess.
Down.
And a good on the
Damn
finish.
it all.
I'm gonna have to give her Super an 8.5. It is solid. It's arguably one of, I think, easily one of the best Supers in the game. Definitely of the female characters, easily. But with that said, let's go on to the next. The third character to look Super of. Which is one of my personal favorites in the game. Basically, as some
Let's
people
see what
refer
you
to her
got.
as female Gran, I actually like some of her moves more than Granblue, in all honesty.
Great.
Is that it? Really all?
Great.
That kind of sucks.
Not yet. Down. I won't forget this.
Okay, I know there's supposed to be more to it, but it's not easy to activate. Will you stop it?
Great.
Okay, this is annoying.
How dare you? Let's see what you've got.
Here it comes! Awaken!
Great!
Okay, whatever. I'll just give it a very basic 3 out of 10.
All right! Gotcha! Lyria! After me!
Here we go.
Down!
Let's be honest. That's gonna get a 10 out of 10 in my book. It's amazing, and it really does show impact.
Down!
Very cinematic as well.
All right!
Okay, let's get to the next one. And here is the next super to rate. A very interesting character, to say the least.
Assassin Spear. Relent. Spiral swiftly pierce. Assassin Spear. It's time to unleash true power. Immortal.
Sadly, it's going to get a 5 out of 10, or a 4.
It's time to unleash true power. Immortal.
Great!
Yeah, it's going to get about, actually, a 4.5.
Now then.
You face on.
However,
Eternal Spear Master. Prepare yourself. The end comes. The thousand spear boy arise.
Down! You knave!
that really does show impact, and it's very cinematic, and it looks like some straight out Final Fantasy, in all honesty. It looks like a summon.
You face on. Eternal Spear Master. Prepare yourself. The end comes. The thousand spear void arise.
Down.
Now, even though it's great, it's not quite as impactful as some of the others. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. But it's still, arguably so far, one of the best. And the timing with the super is great. Now let's get to a couple that I'm kind of, well, a little disappointed by, at least gameplay-wise. I think I beat up enough with on Mr. Arrogant, so I think it's time to beat up on someone else. Yeah, let's beat up now. Just a little on Gran. But first, arguably so far, I think the most disappointing DLC character for me, at least regular gameplay-wise. Design-wise, he's arguably in the top 5, I think, coolest looking characters in the game. But let's look at it.
Body and soul.
Great.
That's it.
Body and soul. Light incarnate. Feel my rage.
Now, if you time it just right, it kind of looks like Ragnarok from, of course, Strider.
Heads up. Heads up. Heads up. Here it comes, Gran. Execution. Can you handle it? Here it comes, Gran.
That's weird how this thing works. That little speed one, which kind of reminds me of Street Fighter, that's gonna get a 3 out of 10.
Execution. Heads up. up! Body and soul!
Great!
Dang it.
Body and soul!
Heads up! Great!
It's hard to get this other one done.
Body and soul! Execution! Can you handle it?
Heads up!
Body and soul! Image incarnate! Feel my rage!
Now the basic version would get a 1 out of 10, but if you can time that just right and get the top finish, it's gonna go to probably a 7 out of 10. For a basic normal super, it's surprisingly good. However,
Playtime's over.
Down!
dang it,
Let my guard down.
let's try again. Okay, that's getting annoying.
Playtime's over. Mine! Playtime's over. Mine!
Down!
Let my guard down. Playtime's over. Mine! 3,000 talons! Pierce you through!
Down!
I can't do any less than a 10 out of 10 for that ultimate. As long as you can time it right, that's the only trick with his supers. Timing is everything.
Playtime's over. Mine! 3,000 talons! Pierce you through!
Down!
I mean, that has serious impact for a super. Very impressive, definitely deserves a 10 out of 10.
You'll know pain.
With that said, time to go on to the next, and let's go on to another stage for the next part of the rating. And let's go on to the next. Here we go. It's sad, a character that's not the greatest or fun to play with has such incredible supers. Though it's about timing. Now we have I would say one of definitely the more edgy characters in the game, but I like him and I love his theme as well as his voice acting.
No returns. Grand. It doesn't kill you. Makes you stronger.
Great!
Not bad. I'm gonna have to look at it one more time.
No returns. Heads up. Grand. It doesn't kill you. Makes you stronger.
Great!
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Easy shot. Now.
Great!
Focus. Easy shot. Easy shot. Now. Focus.
Great!
If that really is it for that super, it sucks.
Easy shot. Easy shot. Easy shot. Got you. Now.
It sucks.
Easy shot. Now.
That really is it. Well, for a level 2, I'm giving that like seriously about a 4. It's actually very disappointing. Now let's get to it. Arguably my favorite, probably favorite female character in this game, arguably, or at least with the DLC characters. I love this character so much. She's so fun, unique, I just love her attitude. Maybe just because she's a bit of a furry, yes. Actually, it's not super great, but it's decent. I'm gonna give her basic, probably a 5.5.
Basil, make contact! Say your prayers! Show
Such power.
But now for her ultimate super.
Great. Down.
Dang it.
Let my guard down.
It's tricky to do this one.
Nice and easy. Let my guard down.
I love it. I'm gonna give it probably a 9 out of 10.
Down.
But it does do more damage, so it's a lot trickier. Admittedly, I believe this for the whole story and everything for the Ninetales. So yeah, it makes me also a little biased, but yeah, still, I give her special, her ultimate super, definitely a 9 out of 10. Very deservedly so, in my opinion. Now, let's move on to the next. Yes, Mr. definitely does look like a
Stay on your toes.
basically a Super Saiyan's way. He does look like, let's be honest.
Boys are hungry. Mega Dragon. Boys are hungry. Mega Dragon. The kick away. Stop. The kick out of it. Boys are hungry. Mega Dragon. Stop. Boys are hungry.
Finally. Not great.
The kick out of the kick out of boys are hungry.
It is pretty solid overall. I'll give it a 6 out of 10, though.
Prepare yourself.
Now watch this.
Stay on your toes.
Dang it.
Get some. Get some. Get some. Get some.
I'll have to reset it. Okay, let's try skip.
Get some. Prepare yourself. Get some.
Dang it.
Get some. Get some. Get some. Get some. Get some. Get. Prepare yourself. Get some.
Stay on your toes.
Prepare yourself.
This is not easy to do.
Get some.
And that gets 11 out of 10 if you can do it and time it just right. It is like the most epic thing ever. Dang it. Yeah, like I said, it's not easy to do.
Prepare yourself.
Stay on your toes.
That freeze frame is epic, and it really does harken back to games like Fist of the North Star. But yeah, 11 out of 10. No debate on that. There's pretty much almost no other, I think, super in the game that can match his. Now for the next. There's only a few characters left to do supers for. And I hope you've enjoyed so far the supers. It's time to do the big three now. First up of the big three, Zoe, or as I refer to her as, the Mother of Dragons. Let's do it. Zoe has both her supers are superb in my opinion. Sorry about this, Lil Wayne. But here we go.
Great.
I mean, seriously, for a basic super, the timing, the impact, the angles,
Down.
and if you can get health out, it's epic finish. For a basic, like, first super, that's going to get an 8.5 out of 10 from me. That is superb.
You ready to rock?
Come forth! The reckoning is at hand!
But here we go.
The will of the skies! Sorrows be gone!
Down.
Another 10 out of 10. I mean, seriously, look at the impact.
Come forth! The reckoning is at hand! Like Asher's sword reflects the will of the skies!
The timing, everything.
Down.
Epic.
Wayne, kick the bucket!
But like I said, she's the trio of, in my opinion, the best characters in the game. But here's the next one. Okay, time for Belial.
How you feeling? Come, the final chapters of Girl. Come, the final chapters of
And so our creator will perish!
For a level, the first, his basic super, that's like a 9 out of 10. Seriously, the impact is ridiculous for the first one.
Down. Come, the final chapters of
Down.
Not enough hype, dude.
Down, girl. Let's play rock. Come, the final chapters of
And so our creator will perish!
Great.
That is epic. But then, like I said, that gets a 9 out of 10. However,
You ready to rock?
his ultimate super gets easily a 10 out of 10.
How you feeling? You're getting on my nerves. Love to see more.
On a Genesis!
Down.
See what I mean?
Not enough hype,
I mean, man. Talk about impact of
How
power.
you
dude.
feeling?
You ready to rock?
You're getting on my nerves. Love to see more.
On a Genesis!
Down.
Not enough hype, dude.
But now, there's only one left to do. And of course, And none other than the big man himself, my #1 favorite character in the game, and of course that is Beelzebub. Along with also arguably my favorite theme in the game. But I feel it's only right to do his supers at his stage. Now his first super has two different alternate versions. Of course, that's his first one. Then there's also a closer version. But yeah, it's sadly not quite as good. I give it about a 6.5 to a 7 range. But his ultimate is arguably my favorite super in the game. My second favorite, though, I would put probably between Belial and Zoe for second or third favorite. And second I've shown you already also. But here's my #1 favorite, of course.
The public. You deserve a reward. Great. The public. You deserve a reward. Great. The public. You deserve a reward.
Okay, that's really annoying.
The public. You deserve a reward.
Sometimes it's tricky.
Yeah, you can use a haircut. You deserve a reward.
Here we go.
In the form of Legion.
Down.
I mean, seriously, the impact, and admittedly, since it feels like some straight out Dragon Ball Z, I'm biased as hell when it comes down to it. But it's not the easiest to activate. Like that's the problem. Getting it is the hardest part. This is so annoying. There we go. Like I said, 20 out of 10. Best in the game along with the music, superb. That's it. Best super in the game goes to Beelzebub, hands down. And that's all there is to it. And that is it for the DLC edition of Rate the Super for Granblue Fantasy Versus. See you next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Stay safe out there. See you soon.